funny enough, and believe in himself a little bit. And now he's on a roll. I don't know why, he just kept on improving.
Might we see him again this season?
I think he's not eligible to run in novices after sort of 10 days' time. So whether we can find a handicap at Haydock perhaps on Swinton Day. There's a race picture this one now, so I might look at and then put him away, and then he'll be chasing in the autumn because he does jump really well.
What do you think his trip is?
He'd get 3. He's at Cadadal, they all stay. He will get 3, but at the moment that's far enough. That's about right for him.
Okay, well, it's excellent to see him improving and having fully recovered. Looking ahead to the rest of the card, everything appears to be right for Poquelin.
Yeah, it does, except, as I said to Andy, after he ran in the Ryanair last year, he ran a moderate race at Aintree, and a lot of horses have had hard races at Cheltenham have haven't performed to their best, and I don't know, he was really quiet for a week after Cheltenham. I don't know why. I think he ran a bit flat, but the last 10 days he's sort of done really, really well, and seeing he has to go left-handed, there's not a lot of other races for him until probably the Paddy Power Gold Cup, so we'll let him take his chance. But it's just a warning. Yeah, he looks a good thing, but on the paper, but he did run moderately after Cheltenham last year.
Okay, you bring Great Mates back to the scene of. He didn't run too well here in October. What was the reason? Did a reason emerge?
Basically, he's just been on the go all summer. It was one run too many, and he's been off all winter. And there's 3 or 4 I'm running Classic Swain. There's No Panic. Earthstream that ran all last summer and having their first runs now, and they'll end up going all summer. And like Great Mates will be chasing after today.
And do you think he can be competitive today?
I think he'll need the run. He's only just because he's a big burly. Every time I run him in the autumn, he needs one run just to get him at his best. So I'm never saying never they won't win, but I just suspect, just knowing the horse, he'll probably come on for the run.
Okay. And Earthstream tries a new trip, but would you say that he shapes as though it'll suit?
Oh yeah, he's out of a Sister of Earth mover. He's been crying out for 3 miles, and I thought today probably he's one of our best chances. He does go well fresh and he jumps nicely. So got to improve on being a summer horse, but I'm just hoping some of the ones that have been on the go for a long time won't be as fresh.
And then you've got Vico, who's got the first time tongue ties. He made a noise?
Yeah, well, he had a breathing operation 2 years ago. He's just been a bit disappointed on the whole, really. He looked a really good point-to-pointer. He won 2, and both the point-to-points he choked very badly for Richard, and so we did the operation on him straight afterwards, and I don't know, it's just never sort of improved from that, really. I mean, he does want to jump fences, and probably that's what I'll do him before too long.
It looks a bit tough as well, his mark.
Yeah, for what he's done. I mean, I was hoping at one time he'd be rated 140 by now, but he has been disappointing, so he has to improve on what he's done.
Okay. Congratulations with the first winner, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Runners assembling at the start now at Cheltenham for the 3:20 contest. Couple of non-runners that we gave to you earlier. 7 Haven't Got a Scooby-Doo is out, and so too 9 Strategic Gale. And Keelan Woods, who has the ride aboard Osland for Charlie Longston, puts up a couple of pounds overweight, so it's only claiming 5 of his £7 allowance. King's Legacy are Made in Time, joint favourites currently at 4-1. Secret Dancer, who was a market mover earlier in the day, did have the caveat in the morning papers of only being a runner if there was significant rain, but he does take part here. 6s from 7s. Osland 13-2. Corto Relco is into 7-1 from 11-1. Rachel Hobbs' representative. My Shamwari at 8s. Kangaroo Court 12s. 14s for Blackjack Blues. 16s Toshiba. Great Mates at 28-1. King's Legacy clear favourite now, 4-1. Made in Time returns to 9-2.
It's also been announced that there are 2 non-winners in our 5th race, the 4:30, the City Post Novices Handicap Hurdle. Number 9, Lexicon Lad, and number 11, Monsieur Cadeau. They don't go. We've also had these 2 non-winners here. The favourite is King's Legacy, 1 of 2 for Paul Nicholls, the mount of Ruby Walsh. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a fascinating race. Just wondering why I've backed My Shamwari. I think it was on price rather than thinking he stood out, but I did think he was a huge price, and still 8-1 is reasonable. We'll come to him perhaps. King's Legacy, 2 from 2 for Walsh. You forgive him his last run here when he blundered at the second, and before that he looked quite progressive.
He was quite keen last time out as well. Let's find My Shamwari, because Jonathan's interested in him, in the purple and pink colours. Richard Johnson riding for Philip Hobbs. Extremely late into the paddock, came into the paddock after the bell had been rung.
He did, which is, I don't know why, but he's only had 3 runs for the yard, and it was well back when stepping up on the first 2 by winning at Fosslas last time. They put a tongue strap on for the first time. I still think he's very feasibly handicapped on 124, and he was about 14-1 this morning, which I thought was ridiculous.
I thought it was a decent race he won last time as well, a fair enough race. He's an 8-1 shot. Let's talk about Secret Dancer. This is a horse who's threatened many times to land a decent handicap, often gets the comment better than finishing position might suggest. Is this the day?
Well, I'm fascinated by the comment in the paper that says will only run if significant rain. This takes me back 20 years to a now retired trainer who used to say this about his flat runners, and it didn't rain and they still run and they'd win. We haven't had any significant rain here, and yet Secret Dancer is running and he's being very well backed. One of many who, although well down the field in the county hurdle, ran quite well and was only beaten about 12 lengths.
Placings remain unaltered at Newmarket, importantly. Placings remain unaltered after a steward's inquiry into the closing stages. Back here at Cheltenham, we should address Made in Time, who ran a bit of an imponderable race at Newbury last time.
You get the impression he's not really been at his best in handicap so far, whilst giving the impression that he might well come to his best at some stage. Don't know, he was favoured at Newbury last time, but never got really into it, or was stuck in the midfield by the end. Always ridden by McCoy, who of course wouldn't be able to do the weight, so Richie McLennan takes over.
We'd give Ostland our best turned out marginally in the paddock. It's not quite as much of a standout as the winners of our previous two races.
I think we would, and I thought that was an excellent run at Kempton last time in a very competitive race behind a much improved horse in a very good time. He has looked, not entirely straightforward, but the fact that he tends to hang left might be to his advantage going this way round.
Thoughts on Kangaroo Court, and more particularly the form of the yard?
Yard's form, well, half their winners came in a sort of spell late October, early November. I mean, Kangaroo Court, he's only been seen once in the last year, and down the field in the Imperial Cup, so something of an imponderable in a race where several make obvious appeal.
They're coming out onto the track for the Cheltenham Collection Handicap Hurdle, our third race. Let's join John Hunt.
Thanks, Lydia. Again, 2 early flights of hurdles to jump here. 10 in all. I think it might be Secret Dancer's day today. Often runs well here. About to face the starter. Looks as though Blackjack Blues will be the first one to jump away. They're off and racing. And indeed, Blackjack Blues already 3 lengths clear of Toshiba. Toshiba followed up by Osland towards the inside as they take the first. Great Mates over it, also handy. And up on the wide outside of this field, Corto Relco is another one who's well up with the pace. Flight number 2 coming right up, and they're all over that one safely. Within the middle of the field, Made in Time, racing together with Secret Dancer, and with these as well is King's Legacy. And the back markers early include My Shamwari, and just last of all is Kangaroo Court. And the runners then make their way round the top turn. It would appear that Made in Time is pulling quite hard back in 5th or 6th place around the outside of the field. Blackjack Blues, the leaders, probably just steady things up a little bit as they now head round in towards the straight for the first time. So Blackjack Blues has the advantage from Toshiba in 2nd place, and Corto Relco will take this with the nose band in 3rd position. Over safely there from Great Mates and Osland, Made in Time on the wide outside. Secret Dancer and King's Legacy are the next pair. Still towards the back is Kangaroo Court, and just ahead of him is My Shamwari as they continue this long run to flight number 4. It's Blackjack Blues who leads the field by a couple of lengths here in the Cheltenham Collection Handicap Hurdle. Toshiba sits in 2nd place. Corto Relco is in 3rd, with Osland on the inside in yellow racing in 4th place. He's just ahead of Great Mates, who's a close 5th. Then comes Made in Time and Secret Dancer and King's Legacy. My Shamwari still just 1 from the back, where back marker is Kangaroo Court as they now come through to take the next flight. Big jump from the leader there. Blackjack Blues secured a 2-length advantage turning away from us. In 2nd place now is Corto Relco, and then Toshiba in 3rd position, followed then by Osland and Great Mates and Made in Time, making a line of 3 there. The pairing behind that trio are King's Legacy and Secret Dancer, with another pair at the back, My Shamwari and Kangaroo Court, as they swing away now and head on up the hill. Quite a run before they get to flight number 5, and it's still Blackjack Blues with the advantage by some 2.5 to 3 lengths. Corto Relco in 2nd place, and Toshiba up on the outside is 3rd as they take this next flight. Made in Time and Great Mates together with Ostland, they're the next few, followed by Secret Dancer and King's Legacy. The order hasn't really changed at all in the first half of this race. Still, the back markers include My Shamwari and Kangaroo Court as they step over the next flight of hurdles, climbing the hill all the time and now making their way towards flight number 7. Blackjack Blues, very efficient hurdler, and still led there with another good jump. Toshiba is now under pressure, struggling to hold on to second place together with, that one is Korto Relco. Ostland and Great Mate still riding behind them together with Made in Time. Secret Dancers right up the inside under Tom O'Brien as they race towards the third hurdle from the finish. My Shamwari's travelling comfortably. King's Legacy and Kangaroo Court towards the rear end of the field as they take the next flight of hurdles, and there more pressure applied to Toshiba at the top of the hill. So a very long run now, sweeping down the hill towards the second last. And up front it is still Blackjack Blues with his big weight attempting to make all of the running. From Korto Relco, who's in second place. Toshiba's still grimly holding on in third. Ostland is in fourth. Great Mates and Made in Time together with My Shamwari and Secret Dancer. All those four really catch the eye. One from the back now is Kangaroo Court, and King's Legacy is the one who's dropped out last as they continue this run down towards the second last. Still about 50 metres from it. The leader is Blackjack Blues towards the inside. Toshiba around the outside in company with Korto Relco, and Ostland jumped right into contention as well. Made in Time blundered up on the wide outside. My Shamwari and Secret Dancer also look as though they're players, and Great Mates not far away. Kangaroo Court and King's Legacy try and improve around the inside, and King's Legacy is now starting to pick up from the rear of the field. So it's a long but fascinating run down towards the last, where Ostland has the narrow advantage, pressed now by My Shamwari in second place. Secret Dancer, Great Mates and the ever-improving King's Legacy are the next ones. Then a gap back to Kangaroo Court and the weakening Korto Relco. Now they head down towards the final flight. It is My Shamwari with the lead at the last. He's landed with a 2 to 3 length advantage over King's Legacy, who's made up a lot of ground, but much more required because My Shamwari is fair storming up the hill here. My Shamwari goes on to score under Richard Johnson. King's Legacy was second. In third place, Secret Dancer. Tight for fourth between Kangaroo Court and Ostland.
My Shamwari has won. Richard Johnson for Philip Hobson won emphatically, travelled well into the race and has returned at 15 to 2. Second is King's Legacy. Third is number 5 Secret Dancer, and fourth is number 11 Ostland. Fifth Kangaroo Court. These are the closing stages, and My Shamwari is just stalking Ostland, who's gone to the fore at the second last, is urged to go ahead, just turns his head to one side slightly as they're heading into the straight, but My Shamwari is stalking and going well.
Yeah, there were any number going well coming into down the hill anyway, and probably testament to not a great pace until the top weight kicked on, sort of going up the hill and finally injected something. But My Shamwari was one of those going easily, and you almost think he's in the end got there a shade too soon, but it has made no difference. I mean, I thought he was a horse that was open to further improvement, and thus it has been proved, because he's won this very, very readily.
Yes, well done. You pointed that out before the race. Progressive horse going into this one well last time out. King's Legacy is a solid second. Third, we have Secret Dancer, who ran despite the lack of significant rain.
Yes, and also travelled well into it, but just couldn't match the pace of the first two at the end. I mean, Great Mates, the Nichols other one, I mean, also travelled into the race really well. I wouldn't give up on that either. And King's Legacy, who, I don't know whether he was in trouble or not, or whether Walsh was just waiting, but he's in the end picked up in good style to come second.
Some encouragement from the 7-year-old Kangaroo Court as well in fifth, who's stuck on well to hold that position in a close three-way go for third, fourth and fifth, but Secret Dancer was the one who got the third place spot. But the winner, My Shamwari for Richard Johnson and Philip Hobbs.
Winning in the first time, tongue strap at 15 to 2 and scoring by 5 lengths from King's Legacy, the 4 to 1 favourite. The well-backed Secret Dancer was eventually sent off at 9 to 2 and filled out third, having got a Scooby-Doo in Strategic Gale with the non-runners, leaving a field of 10.
Victor, can I have a tenner on the favourite?
Sure. Victor Chandler, the punter's bookmaker. Well, here's a man back at Newmarket who knows where the money is. He's taken yet another one of these valuable sales races. Richard Fahey with Sir Reginald, many congratulations. And he looks to have really improved through the winter, Richard. He was good last year, but he was really good